Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Asperger. If you're following me and you're new to my channel and you landed on my page for whatever reason today, Asby, and what I do is I create mental health and awareness versus sharing my life stories along the way with tips and advice for your general health versus your mental health, as well as words of encouragement for whatever you're going through of your personal everyday struggles. As said before, I've been trying my very darn hardest while being away to do more research based on the autism and series as well as the mental health series, because obviously these are going to be a real good topic that will wide range from whatever you guys may want, as well as also just everyday topics that we go through. Hopefully you'll take something away today from whatever reason that you landed on my page and find the answers you're looking for. So, in all further ado, guys, basically, I'm doing the how to tell if someone is bipolar into 3 parts. Just a disclaimer, as always, basically, I'm no medical doctor. I'm just your normal everyday Joe vlogs, and I just basically go about my merry way, doing what I can when I can. And if you see any of these warning signs and symptoms from these videos I've been sharing from now and just in the past, do seek professional help for yourself or your loved one, because I don't forever condone self-harm or anything in that matter, because I want you guys to be happy and free from all that heavy burden. So best to look after yourself as well. So as said, basically this is going to be broken down to 3 parts. Just recently for this one I talked about basically in the first part the learning about bipolar disorders, basically which covered as the following. Number 1, look for unusually intense episodes. Number 2, educate yourself about the multiple types of bipolar disorders. Number 3, know how to recognize a manic episode. Number 4, basically is know how to recognize a depressive episode. Number 5, read all you can about the disorder so that you are ready to go, so you know the warning signs and symptoms. And 6, reject any of the common myths about mental illnesses regarding bipolar, depression, and the like. So as I said before, this is method 2 or part 2 on the how to tell someone is bipolar. Smash that like button to show engagement, and also just feel free to comment below to say hi Asby or whatever it is, to show that you're engaging with me, so that we can get on our way, and hopefully within this that it's something that you are looking for. And if not, pass this message on to someone else that you may feel to, go about using it, or also maybe just to use it as an educational resource tool for yourself, or for even maybe school purposes or whatever it may be. So, method 2, talking with your loved one. Number 1, avoid any hurtful language. Some people may jokingly say they're a little bipolar or schizo when describing themselves, even if they haven't been diagnosed with a mental illness at all. In addition to being inaccurate, this type of language does trivialize the experience of people who does have bipolar disorder. Be respectful when discussing mental illness around them. It's important to remember that people are more than the sum of their illness. Don't forever use totalizing phrases such as "I think you're bipolar." Instead, maybe say something like, "I think you may have bipolar disorder." Referring to someone as their illness reduces them to one element about them, and will make them feel more appreciated if you do so. This promotes the stigma that all too often are still surrounded by mental illnesses, even if you don't mean it in that form of way. So be careful how you speak to them. It's like that with anybody. Trying to comfort the other person by saying, "I'm a little bipolar too," or "I know how you feel," can do more damage than good, however. These things may make the other person feel as though you aren't taking their illness seriously. Number 2, talk about your concerns with your loved one. You might be worried about talking to your loved one for fear of upsetting them. It's actually very helpful and important for you to talk with your loved one about your concerns. They're not mind readers. We're not all mind readers. We need to basically be able to be open and honest and real about our feelings, and also just being real in general. Not talking about mental illness promotes the unfair stigma, however, around this, and may encourage people with the disorder to wrongly believe that they are bad, worthless, and other misconceptions or even misgivings or bad thoughts that they may be thinking that's stirring up inside their head, that's clouding over their judgment and perception about who and what they are as a person. Or another thing is, maybe do they have to feel like they have to be ashamed of their mental illness? When approaching your loved one, be open and honest, as I said, and show compassion and empathy. Number 3, reassure the person that they're not alone. Yes, having mental illness can be draining for people, but then again, it's good to have support from family and friends. Also, in this fact, people with bipolar disorder can make this very person very isolated. Tell your loved one that you're there for them and want to support them in any way you can. Acknowledge that your loved one's illness is real. Trying to minimize your loved one's symptoms, you won't make him feel better. Instead of trying to tell the person that the illness is no big deal, acknowledge that the condition is serious but can be treatable and manageable. A classic example to share with you all is, I know that you have a real illness and it causes you to feel and do things that aren't like you at all. We can find help together. Convey your love and acceptance to that person, particularly while in their depressive episodes. The person may believe that they are worthless or ruined. Counter these negative beliefs by expressing your love and acceptance of the person. For example, I love you and care for you, and you are important to me. That's why I want to help you. Number 4, use I statements to convey your feelings. When talking with another person, it's crucial that you do not seem as though you're attacking or judging your loved one. People with mental illnesses may feel as though the world is against them. It's important to show that you're on your loved one's side, however, for better or worse. A classic example is to say things such as, I care about you and I am worried about some things I have seen. There are some statements that comes across as defensive, so you should try and avoid these. A classic one, for example, to avoid saying things like, I'm just trying to help, or you just won't need to listen to me, or won't forever listen to me. Number 5, avoid threats and blame. You may be concerned about your loved one's health and feel willing to make sure they get the help by any means necessary. However, you should never use exaggerations, threats, guilt trips, or accusations to convince the other person to seek help for themselves. These will only encourage the other person to believe that you see something wrong with them. Avoid statements such as, you're worrying me, or your behavior is odd. These sound accusative and may shut the other person down completely. Statements that attempt to play on other person's sense of guilt are not also helpful. For example, don't try to use your relationship as a leverage to get the person to seek help by saying something like, if you really loved me, you would get the help, or think about what you're doing to our family. People with bipolar disorder often struggle with feelings of shame and worthlessness as it is, and statements like these will only make that worse. Number 6, avoid threats. As mentioned before, you cannot force the other person to do what you want when you want them to. Saying things like, if you don't get help, I'm leaving you, or I won't pay for your car anymore if you don't get help, will only stress that other person out even more. And the stress may trigger a severe mood episode, so be on the lookout. Number 7, frame this discussion as a concern about health. Some people may be reluctant to acknowledge that they do have an issue. When a bipolar person is experiencing a manic episode, they are often feeling so high that it's hard to admit that there is any problems. When a person is experiencing a depressive episode, they may feel like they're the problem. They have a problem, but not be able to see any hope for any treatments that are available and ready. You can frame your concerns as medical concerns which may help you and them. For example, you can reiterate the idea that bipolar disorder is an illness just like diabetes or cancer. Just as you would encourage the person to seek treatment for cancer, you want them to seek treatment for this disorder. If the other person is still reluctant to acknowledge there's an issue, you can consider suggesting they will need to visit a doctor for something that you've noticed rather than for a disorder. For example, you might find out that suggesting that the other person to see a doctor for insomnia or fatigue may be helpful in getting them to seek the help they need. Number 8, encourage the person to share their feelings and experiences with you. It's easy for a conversation to express your concern to turn you into a preacher or preaching to your loved one. To avoid this, invite your loved one to tell you about what they're thinking and feeling. Remember, while you may be affected by this person's disorder, it's all not about you. For example, once you've shared your concerns with the person, saying something like, would you like to share what you're thinking right now? Or, now that you've heard what I wanted to say, what do you think? Don't assume you know how the other person feels. It can be easy to say something like, I know how you feel as reassurance, but in reality this can be sounding dismissive. Instead, say something that acknowledges the other person's feelings without claiming them as your own. You can see why that would make you feel sad. If your loved one is resistant to the idea of acknowledging that they have a problem, don't argue about it. You can encourage your loved one to seek treatment, but you can't always make it happen. Number 9, don't dismiss your loved one's thoughts and feelings as not real or not worth considering. Even if a feeling of worthlessness is caused by a depressive episode, it feels very real to that person that is actually experiencing it. Outright dismissing a person's feelings will encourage them not to tell you about them in the future. Instead, validate the person's feelings and challenge negative ideas at the very same time. For example, if your loved one expresses the idea that nobody loves them and they're a bad person, you could say something like this: I know you feel that way and I'm sorry that you're experiencing these feelings right now. I want you to know that I love you and I think you're a kind, caring person. 10. Encourage your loved one to take a screening test. Mania and depression are both hallmarks of bipolar disorder. The Depression and Bipolar Supporter Alliance website offers free confidential online screening tests for mania and depression. Taking a confidential test in privacy on your own home may be a lower stress way for the person to understand that they need the treatment. Number 11. Emphasize the need for professional help. Bipolar disorder is a very serious illness, like many other mental health illnesses. Untreated, even milder forms of the disorder can get worse over time. Encourage your loved one to seek treatment immediately. Visiting a general practitioner is often the first step. A physician can determine whether the person should be referred to a psychiatrist or other mental health professional. A mental health professional will usually offer psychotherapy as part of a treatment plan. There is a wide range of mental health professionals who offer therapy, including psychiatrists, psychologists, psychiatric nurses, licensed clinical social workers, and licensed professional counselors. Ask your doctor or hospital to recommend some in your local area. If it's determined that medication is necessary, however, your loved one may see a physician, a psychiatrist or psychologist who's licensed to prescribe medicine, or psychiatric nurse to receive these prescriptions. LCSWs and LPCs can offer therapy but cannot prescribe medicine. So this quickly ends part 2, how to tell someone is bipolar. Smash that like button, give me the like for encouragement to show it that you're engaging as well. Comment below. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. Feel free to follow me on my social media sites linked below. Feel free to also turn on the notification bell if you haven't done so already, so you can keep up to date with my daily intake of what I'm going to share with you all. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so already. So enough for do, guys. Basically, do what you love what you do. Until next time, thanks for support, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.